Frank Sinatra, the chairman of the board, Blue Eyes. The man who could command a stage with just a single note seemed untouchable. His voice melted hearts, his swagger redefined cool, and his influence reached far beyond music. But what if I told you that behind the spotlight, Sinatra harbored a fear so raw, so deeply personal, that it haunted him throughout his life? A lost interview, buried for years, revealed the one thing Sinatra never wanted the public to know. And once you hear it, you'll never look at him the same way again. Frank Sinatra was a man of contradictions. To the world, he was confident, charismatic, and seemingly invincible. He sold over 150 million records, starred in hit films, and became one of the most iconic entertainers of the 20th century. From New York to My Way, his songs became anthems of strength, resilience, and charm. Yet those who knew him best often whispered that beneath his polished exterior was a man grappling with deep insecurities. In the early 1970s, Sinatra sat down for a rare and candid interview. Unlike the polished public appearances he was known for, this conversation was raw, unguarded, and startlingly honest. The tapes, thought lost for decades, recently resurfaced, shedding light on the private fears that defined Sinatra's later years. When asked about his incredible success and lasting legacy, Sinatra didn't boast or laugh it off. Instead, he paused, looked down, and admitted something shocking. His greatest fear wasn't losing fame or fortune, it was being forgotten. For a man who seemed larger than life, this confession revealed a haunting vulnerability. Sinatra feared the silence after the applause, the idea that one day his name, his music, and everything he built might fade into history. To him, the thought of being irrelevant, of existing only as a faint memory, was unbearable. This fear drove him to keep performing well into his 70s, even when his health began to decline. He once said, "I can't stand the idea of no one wanting to hear me sing anymore." Those words weren't just about music, they were about his desperate need to matter, to endure, to be remembered. This revelation shook even his closest friends. Members of the Rat Pack, who often saw Sinatra as a fearless leader, realized just how fragile he truly was. His daughter, Tina Sinatra, later admitted that her father would become restless during quiet moments, almost as if he was running from the stillness. He thrived on energy, attention, and connection because, without them, he feared he would disappear. The lost interview also revealed something else. Sinatra's fear wasn't just about himself. It was about legacy. He worried about whether his work would continue to inspire future generations, or if the fast-changing world of music would bury him under the weight of new stars and new sounds. And yet, in that very fear, we see what made Sinatra so extraordinary. His relentless drive to stay relevant, his hunger to create, and his refusal to fade quietly into the background are what ultimately cemented his place in history. Looking back now, nearly 3 decades after his death, Sinatra's confession feels both heartbreaking and ironic. The man who feared being forgotten has achieved the very opposite. His music still fills concert halls, inspires new artists, and plays in the background of weddings, films, and television shows. His influence lives on in ways he never could have imagined. The lost interview didn't tarnish Sinatra's image, it humanized him. It reminded the world that even legends fear the silence, that even icons wrestle with doubt. Frank Sinatra may have worried about being forgotten, but the truth is, his voice, his style, and his legacy are eternal. And that is something no amount of fear could ever erase.